Yesterday, I talked about this League of Legends streamer named Charlene, who was getting a lot of negative attention on social media for her take about men. As Team Voice Chat is coming to League of Legends, and she went on this whole speech about why it's men's responsibility to step up and protect women from mean words in voice chat. People dug up how she had previously made a lot of tweets talking about how much she hates men and men deserve to be lonely and stuff like that, though. On one hand, she wants men to be her personal army for her on the internet police for her, but she also simultaneously hates men. So just a very bizarre look, lack of self-awareness and stuff like that. But this, of course, is also just the tip of the iceberg. Consider watching yesterday's video for all of the context. We're here today in this video because we have an update as Charlene has been informed of my coverage, and well, she's not very happy about it, I guess. That's a real shame. And some of these e-girls in the comment section are also mad at my video. Like I said, it's a real shame. I have no idea how I'm going to recover from this one. Anyways, let's see what they're saying, shall we? It looks like someone in Charlene's Discord had told her about the video, and then she had a person in her Discord that leaked her response. I guess this is what she apparently had to say. And then she also tweeted about it. We'll get to that. First, the Discord message. Charlene says, "What? Ha 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 ha. Oh my gosh. Some men are so sensitive and emotional. WTF. I got told if I get insulted in voice chat, I should just turn it off. Well, if you're offended by me, just block me. I am so pretty on the thumbnail. I just saw." Well, I guess she likes the thumbnail. She just didn't like the video itself. That's funny. But yeah, you're welcome that I used that picture in the thumbnail, Charlene. I know I'm very generous. You don't gotta thank me. It's okay. I know. But it just keeps getting better, because then she made this tweet that says, with a screenshot of my video, by the way, "I'm getting compared to Cece FPS because I said men should stand up against misogyny. Once again, I apologize for defending myself in an aggressive way that wasn't the way of dealing with comments I should have taken. And I sincerely regret. I am sorry." Dang, poor Ashlyn FPS just thrown to the side by this Charlene person, because I compared Charlene to Cece FPS and Ashlyn FPS. But man, that's rough. Doesn't even acknowledge the Ashlyn part. Oof, oof. The replies are filled with people pointing out that no, she's not just getting criticized for saying that men should stand up against misogyny, that there's actually a lot more to the criticism than simply that, and it's pretty convenient that she left out like all of the context. Charlene then went on to say this: "Honestly, I'm getting jump on every post. Just block me, please. I'm really not a mean person. People that know me can confirm. Just like everyone, I can be emotional sometimes. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I just thought we could make the League voice chat safe for everyone." And once again, the replies are filled with people calling her out, such as, "You legit have tons of men-hating posts. What the frick are you on about? Take some accountability for once in your life. You aren't sorry. You don't want to take accountability. You just want to be a victim, not face backlash and put men down. CC clone, enjoy your actions being brought to light. You said the whole male loneliness epidemic is deserved. How is that not something an evil person would say? You have recent posts hating on men's mental health, and now you want men to stand up for you? You want men to help you while you're a misandric. You might not be a mean person, no one cares about how nice you are, but you are sexist, and asking men come at your aid while hating on a whole gender is crazy. Girl, I used to follow you when I played League. You are mean. You just didn't realize. Be better." That's just a small sample. There's like hundreds of replies calling her out, though. And then only 1 hour ago, she finally said this, and also locked the responses this time. She says, "I sincerely apologize about everything I said, especially because I didn't realize my word could offend some people, and I have never want to hurt anyone. I'm very stupid, I know. Only thing I can do now is change how I see things and be a better person. So that's what I'm going to do." Yeah, the thing is, we've heard statements like that before from people, and most of the time, they're not sincere. It's just damage control. Maybe Charlene will be the exception, though. I guess we'll see. That is about the nicest thing I could say about all that. But then we have some other streamers in the responses to Charlene getting mad at the people that are criticizing her. For example, Ashley over here saying, "You've been nothing but right, though. A shame such a large group of incels infest the League community." And appropriately, she's also getting criticized. For example, this response. It says, "Anytime a woman gets called out for bad behavior, why do you default to calling men incels?" Yeah, it's very weird. No one's talking about sexual acts here. No one's even talking about stuff like that. We're saying like, oh, the take is bad. Here's why. Her response is, oh, you guys are incels. Like, what's wrong with your brain that's where you take things? It's just a pathetic look. We can see another example right here. Another random streamer's like, what the frick, lol. The internet couldn't deal with me because 10,000% men should be protecting women. We should all be protecting each other. And people are mad about that? What the frick? Get a life if you disagree that we should look out for each other as humans. Bunch of POS. Yeah, except that's not what's going on here at all. She doesn't even understand what she's arguing about. Loki responds to that streamer Eve and says this is her, Charlene, she can pound sand, showing some of Charlene's greatest hits, talking about how she hates men and loves money and all that stuff. Eve says, yeah, I see how it comes over as hypocritical, but I think most girls have joked around like that before. I say I hate men very often because I get harassed nonstop, yet obviously know there's good ones out there. The internet is a little harsh. She just wanted to say protect each other. Loki responds and says, the internet is indeed harsh, and she's reaping what she sowed. And it doesn't come over as hypocritical because it 100% is. She actually seems sincere and not this BS victimhood apologies because she facing backlash, she wouldn't be here. By the way, it's funny how these sort of women want to act like it's hate speech essentially to say to a woman in a video game, get good, or skill issue. Like obviously that's not a big deal at all. But they want to paint that out as like sexism, misogyny. Maybe they'll even call you a chud or a Nazi. Wow, depending on what buzzword they feel like using, right? But then they'll turn around and say like, oh yeah, we say we hate men, but that's just a joke. So saying skill issue, saying get good, that is way too far. But saying that we hate men, that's not too far at all. That's just a joke. Obviously, it's a ridiculous standard. Definitely worth laughing at, though. Like, my gosh, the stuff these people come up with. Here's another example. The streamer Abby Cat says, wait, how? Is this a hot take? To Charlene. Why shouldn't men stand up against misogyny? So just like that other streamer who comments on this without even actually looking into the issue, she completely misses the point and the issue that people take with Charlene's tweet. As this person says to her, that was never the issue for this blowing up. She is on record for constantly degrading and insulting men to straight up misandry. She puts out these apologies, but never even addresses what she said and why she said it. She doubled down on it after apologizing multiple times and pretended that all she did was post one thing like that in 2022. Referring to how yesterday, as I covered, she was also trying to say like, oh, I changed, that was in 2022. And people were like, dude, you're saying the same stuff right now. You were saying the same stuff last month. You haven't changed at all. And so then we have this giant wall of text with very weird spacing from this random streamer Lumi. And she's also talking about the news of League adding voice chat. And she, as mentioned, writes this giant wall of text. You can see the full thing on the left. Actually, it's even a little bit longer than that. And then like a slightly zoomed in version in the middle. And then a response from Madam Savvy on the right. But again, Lumi's like making this wall of text, trying to come off like a victim because, oh my gosh, men might say GG if they hear a girl in voice chat. That's like the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, we get it. And so Savvy then responds, and we're going to read Savvy's response as she completely calls Lumi out. So here's what Savvy has to say. Holy smokes, shut the frick up and grow a spine. You know, men mock each other for low blows far worse than, oh look, a girl, GG. If a dude's voice is even slightly deviated from a norm or mean, as in middle ground measurement, not mean the emotion, I figure I'll need to clarify for you. Tone. The guy is mogged endlessly every round. That is the nature of competitive games. That is true equality right there. Everyone trashes on everyone. Don't like it? Hello Kitty Island Adventure is down the hall to the left. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Tourists like you who just want to complain and have no idea how good you have it with report tools, muting, and how censored everything is now. 10 to 15 years ago, it was the Wild West. I loved it. Now, because of pieces of filth like you, I can't trash talk anymore. Screw you, Snowflake. Gaming was better without people like you. And that's where we're going to leave this one. Shouts out to the based ladies and gentlemen out there. Thank you all for tuning in to this video. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Have a lovely rest of your weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.